Hello and welcome to Forgemaster Metal Reviews. This is the place where you get the most out of your metal.
There's a bunch of albums coming out in May. It's starting to get nice out, so you can throw in your headphones, go for a walk, and check out some killer metal. If you're new to the channel, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let's roll into it.
Starting out with May 6, we have Jani Liimatainen, My Father's Son. If you can't get enough Finnish and swoomy metal, Swallow the Sun's Jani Liimatainen is putting out an album with a whole slew of guest musicians. This is going to be a cool one. Ibaraki, Rashomon. Matt Heffy is putting aside the core and is diving into a few of my favorite things: black metal, history, and ancient feudal Japan. Just based on Matt's skill as a guitarist and the guest musicians alone, this should have you interested.
I'm super psyched, especially because he's partnering with Isan. You know, it feels a little bit more into progressive territory than black metal, but should still be great.
Depressed Mode, Decade of Silence. One of the more overlooked death doom bands from Finland. The last time they did anything was actually back in 2009, so it's cool to see them coming back together. This should be a strong contender in the death doom category.
I feel like Doom is inching ahead a little bit this year, which is great because in 2021 it was pretty lackluster, so I'm excited.
Cosmic Putrefaction, Crepuscular Dirge for the Blessed Ones. You guys have talked about this band a bit, and with the slew of other cosmos-oriented one-man black metal bands, it's easy to get decision fatigue, but I think we'll be checking this one out this year.
On my 7,000th Bloodborne playthrough, I'll be listening to this one, so.
Rise to the Sky, Every Day a Funeral. This is another doom metal band that has been on our radar for a few years now, and while none of their albums have quite made it to our top lists, we definitely think that you have to have your ears on them if you like it slow and sorrowful.
You know you love Every Day being a funeral.
Suffering Hour in Malthusian Split, Time's Withering Shadow. Killer death metal band Suffering Hour is teaming up with Malthusian. You may remember Suffering Hour hitting many of our top lists before. Don't miss this one.
They were one of the most underrated acts, man, hitting so many top lists in our previous stuff. So do not miss this one. And a lot of our Forge mates are excited about this one too.
May 13th, Nechochwen, Kanawha Black. One of my favorite black and folk metal bands of all time, Heart of Akamon is an absolute treasure to the scene. Kanawha Black is a fantastic follow-up to that album. If you haven't watched we are doing an interview with Aaron from Nechochwen, and that should be released close to this release date.
Hell yeah. Misery Index, Complete Control, another one of our all-time favorites. Misery Index is definitely better than Dying Fetus, by the way, in case anyone asks. This is proven fact. This band has our favorite elements of social outcry, fury in the music, and it's just one of those bands that not enough people talk about. If you like your social commentary raw, brutal, and injected with sledgehammers, Complete Control needs to be on your listen list.
Yeah, dude, this is going to be a fucking devastating death metal album. Emma Ruth Rundle, electric guitar, 2 Dowsing voice. Engine of Hell was one of our favorites from last year, so it's cool to see it's cool to see her following up with her debut album that is now 10 years old. Expecting somber post-rock vibes.
Yeah, for sure. The thickest guitar tone ever that's not heavy, too. I don't know how she does it every time. Jungle Rot, A Call to Arms, more brutality and in-your-face riffs. What can go wrong here with these Wisconsin boys? Their latest single, Slays, it's on YouTube now. Check it.
May 14th, Haunt, Windows of Your Heart. Trevor Church of Haunt stays hella busy. If you haven't noticed, Haunt puts out something like every 6 to 12 months. If you can't get enough fist-pumping trad metal, be sure to check this one out. May 20th, Evergrey, a Heartless portrait, the Orphean Testament. I love how active Evergrey has been since their inception. 2019's The Atlantic was a total return to form. Last year's Escape of the Phoenix, another ripper. I'm sure a Heartless portrait is going to slay. These guys can do no wrong in my eyes.
I can't believe the gas they've been putting on these last few years. It's crazy. I've like run out of riffs and they have it. So.
Yeah. Cave-In, Heavy Pendulum, they are a local post-hardcore band that has just been doing monumental stuff for the scene. Check that one out.
Septic Flesh, Modern Primitive. I am so stoked for this one. Honestly, you know, you said before you kind of stopped listening to them, but I haven't lost the bubble on them. Just killer, straight up symphonic death metal, kind of leading the charge nowadays.
Yeah, they are the OGs in the symphonic death metal category. They are the ones who have just risen to the top of the heap.
Yeah.
Sadist, Fire Scorch. Longtime prog death metalers, Sadists, have been at it since the early 90s. If you can't tell, old school metal musicians are not afraid to try and breathe new life into the projects that are sometimes decades old. Sadists have been pretty active, so it's not like they're coming off a long hiatus. So
yeah, cool. I'm excited for this one for sure. Blot us Nord, Disharmonium, Undreamable Abysses. Yeah, that's what it says. These guys have been killing it in the weird and avant-garde black metal category for years now. Excited to see what this one brings.
Yeah, if you're into that weirdness, you can't go wrong with these guys. May 27th, low-key pretty excited for Decapitated, Cancer Culture. If you haven't checked it out, we have a really cool discography ranking with Paragene's reviews over there. You got to check that one out. This was a really fun episode that we did to kind of build up context around cancer culture. So check that one out to jump into cancer culture.
Yeah, I think we should update it once that comes out too, because this album I think is going to make it pretty difficult to redo the tier list. So I think it'd be worth it. Crematory and Glorious Darkness, Goth Industrial Legends have been doing their own thing since the early 90s, but you know what? I'm glad they're back. This is going to be a fun one to check out.
Yeah, dude, they have a very niche subgenre, but they've constantly been delivering to their fan base. There's definitely bound to be a few cool tracks on here. Lord Belial, Rapture. I haven't thought of this band in fucking ages, dude. This is another group of old-timers that have been at it since the early 90s. A Swedish black metal band. They are summoning their demons with the latest release, Rapture. Expect some unholy, filthy riffing and cold, atmospheric vibes.
I hope that the production isn't stuck back in time, though. I hope we just get a little bit of a facelift with how it sounds, because these guys are awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely some cool singles out there, so check them out.
What are you psyched about for me? Let us know down in the comments below.
And go with the gods, Forgemasters. Go with the inglorious darkness.
See you next time.